Genius with Meenal. So I'm your host for today and the mentee, Isha Lakhani, and I'm a psychology student. So as a psychology student, I've known that a lot of people have doubts with self and are still, trying to find themselves. So today, our mentor Meenal will answer my questions. So since we're talking about introductions, Meenal, I just wanted to ask you that when people introduce themselves, they either talk about their careers or the relationships that they are in, or like I'm a daughter and I'm a sister, or there is some other aspect that is joined with their introduction. But who is the real self?
Okay, so before I answer to your question, Isha, what we have to understand is the layers of our identity. There is a hierarchy from the gross level to the subtlest level. On the grossest level is our identity or the labels. Mostly we want us to know by our labels. We want people to know us through our labels, right? So our labels or our identity basically is the experience. We can say labels. So labels is our gross most identity of ourself. Then as we go inside, as we go inner, the again thing is our body and our senses. Inside of that is our mind, emotions, then comes our essence, and then soul. But this is a journey and we have to navigate through this journey. We have to open one by one realms. For most people, the open realm is their labels, their identity, the way people or the world know them.
Right. Okay, I think this makes a lot of sense. So my next question is interrelated. When we talk about that self, when people say that I have changed or I am changing, I'm trying to be a better self, how do you think that works if an inner core is there? Are you betraying your inner core when you're trying to change, or are you just redefining that?
Nice. The very first thing is change is constant. The moment before this moment, who you were, you are not in this moment. Look at all the aspects. Even your cells, they get regenerated like every single second. From your cells to your perception, to your experiences, to your labels, everything changes from moment to moment. So change is constant. First thing. How come you are betraying your core self? Even if you are reaching towards your core, basically none of us has reached our core. We are still navigating between our labels, our emotionality, our mentality, our physicality. Some of you might have touched the essence, but we are still navigating between all the layers of ourselves.
Right.
We haven't yet reached our core.
We haven't reached our true potential.
Right. So if our journey is towards our core, then definitely we are not betraying. But
Right.
if we are trying to live artificially, which is against our core, against our essence, then maybe I can say, yeah, we are betraying.
Makes sense.
But
That makes
again,
a lot of sense.
change is constant. We are changing every single moment. From our cells to our outer identity.
Right. That is actually really insightful. I mean, yeah, that answered my question so beautifully. So my third question to you is, when we talk about self-acceptance, how do we balance that with self-growth? If one day I feel like I'm not in my best shape today, and do I go with, okay, I have to accept myself the way I am, or should I grow and strive to be the person that I actually want to become? Because I personally struggle with it a lot. Should I accept myself as I am, or should I grow and should I keep working towards it? Sometimes people are very hard on themselves for it as well. So
Isha, here the very first thing is, what is your notion of self?
I think self for me is like the core of me, my core values, beliefs, principles, and how I see myself.
Most of the time when we ask people what is their notion of self, everything will come to ourself.
Right.
Whether our individuality, whether our core, whether our emotionality, whichever, but we address to our own self as a self, whereas self is a much wider phenomena.
Right. Does societies, like, how society perceives us, does that also hamper our self belief?
Of course it does, yeah. But the thing is, when you are aware, when you are conscious, then whatever society is throwing towards you, it's up to you how much you want to catch, what you want to catch.
Right.
When you are unconscious about this, like you are not aware, it is happening out of habit, then you will catch whatever comes to you.
Right.
Here your notion of self helps you a lot, because if you know, if somebody said something about you that Isha is this, but in your core you know you are not this, then you will not get hurt up with this. Right, you will not accept whatever is been thrown to you. You will immediately stop it. You will not allow it to enter inside of you and influence your experiences, your belief system. Right? When I spoke about self, what we have to understand most importantly is, what is our notion of self? Are we isolated beings? Or are we part of a large tapestry?
Right, part of a large tapestry as well, right?
Yeah, but then when it comes to anything about self, are we looking at that tapestry?
No, we're ignoring it completely.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is what is happening, and this is what is keeping us limited. This notion of self.
Right.
Now, even if we say, for example, we cannot relate others as ourselves, at least what we can do is, how do we define our family?
I think, we would jot down their qualities maybe, or I would define my family as being loving and kind.
Yeah. So when you talk of your family, you talk of certain people whom you feel so deeply connected with.
Right.
Maybe they are your immediate family, little bit of distant family, your friends, your colleagues, your acquaintances. Few people whom you feel you are deeply connected with, for whom you are really concerned about everything and anything that goes in their life. Right? So this is your family. Now what if this family is expanding?
Right.
Let me give you one more example. This day we see a lot of cricket, right?
Right.
Say you are a player of a playing 11.
Okay.
Right? Now, when you are playing, are you playing as an individual, or are you playing as a team member? Are you playing for your country or your state, whatever? Or are you playing for the larger thing, that is a total, what you call it, why this cricket is being played for the entertainment and sporting, right? So are you seeing yourself as just an individual, a team member, a person representing your state or your country, or a part of this larger thing which we call as entertainment, or which we call as sporting event?
Right. So I think what you're trying to say is there are layers to everything.
Exactly.
And there are steps. There's much more beyond our perceived.
Exactly. And even this is nothing.
Right.
Even this is nothing. If you try to open your realms, then you will know there is so much. This entire, we are and we can be this entire universe. We are. But the thing is, we have to open those realms, and it happens experience by experience.
Right.
Most importantly, if you are open to it, then this happens. If you are not open to it, you are very self-centered, or maybe you are living your life around 10, 15, 20 people, then maybe that much only you will experience in the life. But if you want boundlessness, if you want infinity, if you want to be your true essence, if you want to live that, then you have to open these realms.
Right. So since you spoke about self-centeredness, it came to my mind that these days everything on Instagram is about self-love. So where do you draw the line between self-love, self-centeredness and selfishness?
So good. I love to answer this question. First of all, we talk a lot about self-care, right? Do we ever try to understand why do we need to care? What is it we are looking for? What is the outcome we want from that care?
I think what people strive for is mental peace, because right now it's a rushed world, right? So people neglect themselves a lot, especially I've seen that with mothers. Like our mothers, they neglect themselves the most. So I think self-care is an activity where you take out time just for yourself.
Yeah. So, because you don't want to be deprived of something, right?
Right.
But what will you do once you fulfill?
Right.
If your care is fulfilled, right? You gain your mental peace, or you gain your relaxation, or whatever is needed, you gain that. What do you want to do with it?
Then I would want to come out of it and then, be better in the outer world as well. That would help me be better in the outer world.
Right. So here you have to understand that self-care is required because you have to be deserving, more and more deserving, to contribute to the outer world.
Right. That makes so much sense.
So even in one prior podcast, I had given one example that if I want to give 101 rupees, but if I have 100 rupees, will I be able to give 101 rupees? No. So to fill that gap of 100 and 101, I have to
come to 101.
101. So that here comes the self-care. Now if I want to gain that 101 rupee or 105, 110 rupees, so that I can nourish myself, I can do whatever, I can get entertained or acquire material things, whatever, then it goes into selfishness.
Right. Right.
So what is the motive behind? Self-care is must, because unless and until you are fulfilled, you will not be able to give it to others.
True.
But is that your purpose?
Right. That's food for thought. So since we're talking so much about identity and all, I also wanted to touch upon the topic of emotions. So when I see a child just in a supermarket running around and he falls down, before reacting, he looks up at like an adult and sees how they are reacting and then reacts, right? So are emotions truly ours, or are they a byfactor of how society has influenced us to be?
See, basically we own all the types of emotions. That everything which is possible is inside of us.
True.
Only thing is, either it is getting ignited, or with awareness it is getting transformed. We are letting it as it is, we are suppressing it, whatever we are doing, but we have all the types of emotions inside of us, whether we call it good emotions, whether we call it evil emotions, anything and everything. We possess everything. It is for us to decide what to ignite, what to transform, not to suppress.
Right.
Nothing to suppress. Either we allow it to let it go. See, even here is a hierarchy. You become aware of it. You choose what to do with it. If the first thing is you don't do anything with it.
Okay.
You came to know that you have hatred feeling for somebody, right? You know this, but you don't want to do anything with it.
Okay.
This is one state. Then comes a state where you feel that, okay, I don't want, or maybe you can think that I want more hatred. I want to hate these people much more. Then you will find the ways to ignite it.
Right.
There comes a stage where you feel that no, this is not me. I shouldn't be doing this. Whatever the other person is doing, but this is not me. I don't want to do this.
Right.
Then you will want to transform that feeling of hatred into a warmth or care or love or whatever. So now what your question was, is the society triggering our emotions?
Right.
There are every single chance that, see, if society is the one who is triggering those emotions in you, the society is triggering lot many emotions.
True.
Why not other emotions are getting?
Only the ones that are very personal to us and that we feel
Right.
attacked by, you know,
Right.
those are only.
So we are attached to those emotions.
Right.
And we have to decide whether we want to let it go, whether we want to keep it as it is, whether we want to transform it.
Oh, that
But
makes a lot of
so it doesn't matter what society is throwing at you. It's all there inside of you. Only those things you want to get ignited, only those parts will get ignited. Not the rest of the things.
Oh, this is a great learning for me. It's an eye opener, honestly. So yeah, moving on to my next question. Now I want to talk about past. Like, do we really ever escape our past, or you know, when we move on, have we changed, or have we just rewritten our own story?
Okay. You are talking about past and memories. Right? So we hold memories. Why do we hold memories? Because we have some kind of attachment with those memories.
Right.
We want to carry certain experiences with us. This is our choice, that I don't want to let it go. I want to hold it tight in my heart.
But what about the memories that we actually want to subside in the back of our mind and they are still there and they keep haunting us?
Exactly. If we would have wanted, we could have done it.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah. So let's talk. Say somebody has some trauma in their past life when they were children, some abusing or something like that. That's happened. It's gone. It has got nothing to do with your current life.
True.
It was the outcome of the state, the people who caused it, or the people who were victim. It was the state of that moment, right? It has got nothing to do. There's a lot of time passed from that moment to this moment.
Right.
But why are we still holding it?
Oh, that's something to think about. Right. I just always thought that they were just something that would always stay with you and you would try to push it, you know, in the back.
Yeah,
of
that's
the
your
head.
choice.
Wow. Okay.
That's your choice. See, again, what can be done with that? Okay. Either you hold it, you grow it. It will turn into more and more traumatic experience for you. And that traumatic experience will again attract more traumatic experiences in you.
True.
So this is the first thing. Second thing, you know it's there, but you don't want to do anything with it. You just let it be there. Even in this case, whenever there will be triggers, some flame, this will get ignited.
Right.
Third thing is, you want to work on it, you heal it. You came to know that, okay, I had this trauma, I am still having trouble with this trauma. So what I will do is, I will take somebody's I will take some therapy, I'll take a help, and I will do whatever to heal myself. This is third thing. Fourth thing is I can empower out of that experience.
Wow, right. When you put it down like that, I think, yeah, there are a lot of options to choose from, and
Exactly.
it can be dealt with in a very healthy manner.
Right.
Right.
So even that same experience can transform you. It gives you the opportunity to know yourself better, work on yourself, and not just get healed, but use these as your foundation to create new you.
Right. Wow. That's absolutely wonderful. Wonderfully put. I think my eyes have opened today. So, my last question to you is, Meenal ma'am, what do you do to deal with your emotions? Do you use any tips or tricks, or maybe journaling or something like that? What do you do for your mental health?
Yeah. So if you just ask me for today, I'm quite a lot detached with those things.
Yeah.
So it doesn't affect me much. There are still few things which do affect, but not the rest of the things that affect me. Yeah. When I look into my journey, how did I dealt with this?
Yeah.
Then journaling, writing, not as journaling, but writing. I was expressing myself like anything, whatever would come to me, I would just express it on the paper. Yeah.
Wow.
So that has helped me immensely.
How do you stop yourself from spiraling down? I mean, when you're sad and you start writing, and then you just spiral into like a whole thing where it wasn't even a big deal, but you start writing and then it becomes a big deal. How do you stop that?
Yeah. The most important part here is your journey to detachment. When I see, I've seen many people, like I used to take art therapy classes with school children, and one day in a class, so I had just asked them that take out paper and crayons, and whatever you feeling currently, you don't need to draw, you just need to color it out. Just use your crayons, don't use any pencil or pen. And I saw one girl, she colored her entire page black, and not just black, she was doing it so hard, like over and over again. And then I immediately decided to talk to school management that this girl needs counseling.
Yeah.
She needs help, because this is something which has come out on. So this happens that if something comes to you very instantly and you are not ready to deal with it, then this is also a mirror.
Right.
This also reflects what is exactly going on inside of you.
Makes sense.
So I have seen people doing into the loop, the circle, spiral, because they want themselves to be in that loop again and again. They don't want to stop there. They don't want to take any actions to that. It's I can see that it's uncontrollable for them.
Right.
Even if they want to stop, they cannot stop.
Right. For some, sadness becomes a comfort. They don't want to get out of that.
Exactly.
Wow.
Again, choice.
Again, a choice. You're so right. Meenal ma'am, you answered all my questions so beautifully. Honestly, this has opened my eyes towards life, and I'm gonna start to not spiral and use the tips that you gave me. Thank you so much for answering my questions so beautifully.
It's my pleasure, first of all. And the only message which I want to give you today is that be aware of what is going on, and just be conscious about what choices you are taking. Many times, most of our choices are coming out of our unconscious mode. It's part of habit.
Right.
So be aware of, and choices are most important one.
Right. I think my choice of being here today was the best I could have ever made. I'm so grateful to you for actually answering my questions so beautifully.
I'm looking forward to see your journey.
Yeah,
much
definitely.
better.
I will keep in touch with you and I'll let
For
you.
sure.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.